is a historic day today because today is day one of the MFN podcast. I'm super excited. I think it's been something that I've been thinking about because so many of us who are, mixed martial arts fans who've seen this promotion grow in leaps and bounds over the years, but still have so many questions that are unanswered. You want to know the people behind it, what they were thinking जब वो ये बनाने चले थे, क्या उनकी thought process थी. You know the stories about cricket. You go back 15 years and you say, oh my God, the IPL started here. Well, MFN and mixed martial arts starts here. And I've got the only lady promoter in the world who does a fight promotion, who's actually somebody who's so involved with it. Krishna Shroff, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
This is a dream that's been there for you and your family for years, something that I've been also involved with a few years, and I can't believe that we've taken so long to do this.
I know. Mom and I are so excited about this. We really believe it's going to add so much value and help people understand the vision behind the brand.
And I think most of all, by the way, this is the gym as well. This is like a little bat cave. Whenever people think about fitness, they've got like one idea in their mind. And I think when you look at mixed martial arts, it's prime fitness. Your family is also prime fitness. You yourself are prime fitness. But everyone always asks the question, Krishna Shroff now is much more than Tiger's sister, Jaggu Dada's daughter. Now Krishna is somebody else. Krishna is her own badass Shroff, as I like to call it. What is Krishna now in the last 2-3 years? What's the metamorphosis?
I've always put out who I truly am. That hasn't changed from the very beginning till now. I believe what's allowed me to connect to so many people is the fact that I remain relatable. I try to be as true and authentic to myself as possible. I follow my passion, what I truly feel passionate about every single day. And I'm blessed that, this inception has given me an identity away from who everyone expected me to be or what they expected me to do. So I'll forever be grateful for it and, the solid team that supports me through it.
Most of the industry kids I've seen have used this famous name to set up either production houses or restaurants. Mm-hmm. Restaurants is like a big power for everyone.
Yeah.
You never went into that zone. You like going out.
I love going out. I love food.
Yeah.
That, I'm not going to lie, that actually crossed my mind a couple of times.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what it really stems down to is I like to be my own boss. But that is definitely an idea that came to mind as well. And that stems from my love of food.
Yeah. I think our love of food with everyone is the same. But you're always fighting these battles. You fought a lot of battles yourself also, Mm-hmm. There was a weight battle that you fought. There's an identity battle that you're fighting, which is creating your own.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now. But would you say just finding your own space as Krishna Shroff was the biggest battle that you fought in the last 4, 5 years, 7 years?
I think in life, for sure, The weight issues, that was really a battle I faced when I was sort of in my early teenage years.
Yeah.
Because at that age, you're very easily influenced by what people say or what they do. So definitely those outside noises really affected me negatively.
Yeah.
But, where a lot of people could be pulled down with things like that, I kind of used it as fuel. I channelized my energy. I realized, okay, maybe I got to do something to better myself, And that's when I truly found fitness. I was like, I need to do something super transformational for myself.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And now you have an 8-pack that I hate. It's fantastic.
Not all the time.
No, but it's fantastic. But it's really tough to do this over and over again. See, now there's also another responsibility that you have, that you are a fitness influencer. So this is going to be with you, which you're cool with?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the most rewarding feelings in the world. And I will forever be grateful to fitness because I truly believe that kickstarted, this journey for me. And it's given me a little bit of an identity away from the massive legacy that I come from.
But that legacy continues also. Will you do a little cameo in your brother's film if he asked you?
I've had this conversation with him. I've actually told him, probably not a full-blown movie. It's a lot of work. But I'm happy to do one-day commercial shoot. That could be like a super badass role between a brother and a sister that involves a lot of action. I feel like that would be kick-ass.
So now, because it's the MFN podcast, they'll want to know how it all started, So you had parallels in front of you. You had the UFC, which was growing and had grown, but India they still didn't understand too much of it.
Right.
So you're sitting in there and you've got this cricket crazy country that you know all the sponsors are running to, everyone's running to. Take me back to 2019 when you all suddenly thought about, chalo hum ye MFN karte hain.
I'll actually take you back to 2017 because that's when it truly, you know, became an idea.
Yeah.
There were obviously other leagues before Matrix Fight Nights, and I had attended those a couple of weekends, and I had to take mom with me, right? So I took her one weekend. She sat there, never experienced a live fight ever in her life before this, saw everything for the first time, was blown away.
Yeah.
The adrenaline she felt that night was like no other, honestly. And
But you were totally into it.
I've been following the sport for 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been 2 decades.
Because you lived abroad as well, that's why.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And that's why you saw a lot. Because in India, I don't think we were following it then that much.
I mean, the UFC's been around for 30
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
so I was following them closely for
What
very,
was
very
it
long.
the blood or what is it that attracted you?
Honestly, I have so much respect for these athletes, you know, and more than their physicality and anything like that, it's honestly their mental strength that really intrigues me. And it's a blessing to be able to be around these guys, you know, so up close and personal and feed off of that because it inspires me and it motivates me. So anyway, after that night, mom was like, we got to do this. And she was like, we got to do this and we're going to do it so much better, you know. And it was actually her idea to start. You know,
So what didn't you like about what you saw there? It was just a basic fight, but not too much.
There was a lot of internal stuff that we noticed, primarily the way the fighters were treated.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very unfair. I don't want to fully get into that. I don't want to shit on anyone's, you know, organization.
Yeah.
But, you know, I immediately jumped on board. I was like, hell yes, this is what I want to do. This is my passion, and I'm with you 100%. My brother, of course, you know, he's a martial artist himself. He fully supported the idea, backed us, and we became a little dream team, the three of us.
And what about the fourth peg in the wheel? When you told Dada, what did he say?
Of course. Dad, you know, like the majority of people in India, didn't understand it at first. Okay. He looked at it as, you know, just a blood sport and aggression and all of that without understanding the technique and the massive skill set that goes behind it. So it took him a couple of years to actually truly understand it and get on board with the vision, you know, but you know, we're blessed. Dad's always given us that space to be able to, you know, take on these challenges and experience these things for ourselves and go through whatever experiences we have to go through. So he gave us that leeway. We took it, and now he's, you know, all on board. He supports it 100%. He wakes up every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. to watch all the fights with us. The UFC fights, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And he's become a huge fan of the sport too.
But the business end of it, 2019. So this was 17 to 19, then it starts off. You know, sometimes you see a script also when you come to actually act in it, you say like it's a little different from what it looked like.
Yeah.
So was it a little different from what you thought it would be when you started off with it? Also from the business side of it, also to set it up together. You know, you've got a UFC in your head.
Yeah.
But was that translating?
I mean, the UFC has 30 years
on
us,
true, of course.
You know.
But also we have 30 years up on technology and those kind of things and the learnings from that.
And
so
visibility, to be honest.
Yes. So were you like able to sort of see the longer vision from the first MFN?
Absolutely, you know, and if we didn't have that long-term vision for it, it would shut down real quick.
Yes.
You know, anything you do, any startup you jump into, it's gonna be slow initially, you know, but I always say this, if your intent is in the pure place for that vision, there will always be longevity to that, and we're seeing that come to life now.
I've never seen you really get very ruffled. You know, I see Aisha sometimes, I can see it on her face. You all might have the aggression come behind the scenes, but there's like a game face that's always on there.
With me?
Yes. How?
I don't know, actually.
I've seen you be able to hold it in.
I feel like my family would say otherwise.
Not on the day of fights or when you're in work.
Yeah.
Behind that, I can understand there's no filter for sure. She's got no filter.
Yeah.
But you've been able to also hold that bit that Krishna, the businesswoman, also has to come out. That's, I think, the biggest change that I've seen in you in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Also, I mean, look, I'm a woman in a very male-dominant industry, number one. I'm probably the youngest woman to do this, number
Yes.
two.
Yeah.
So I got these two things stacked against me. So, I mean, what do I have? I have my professionalism. So I got to bring that A game, all the time, no matter what's going on behind the scenes. That's very important to me.
Now, when you see the sport in this country, do you think it's got a little better because you all came in? Or is it also the other way? You know what happens is, when so many people, it used to happen in the villages. When Kabaddi first came out, people used to look at that, wow, fantastic. And then when they got a lot of this money coming in and all those things coming in, a lot of the people that they thought would do very well and support the sport really just were in it for the money at that point in time, because they said, we've given our time, now it's our time to eat.
Right.
Do you think that's the toughest part for being a business promoter, to stay pure to the idea of, oh, I want to promote MMA in this country, the fighters in this country, and keep all the rest of the rubbish aside?
So, of course, it's definitely been a challenge, but, it's surprising and pleasantly surprising to know that there are so many people here that actually share the same vision that we do. And, we've gotten the best out of the lot on board with MFN.
Yeah.
And, that just goes back to what I said earlier, when the intent's in a pure place, there's longevity in that.
But because there's no government support, sometimes do you think that itself also allows a lot of things to... You see, when you have a federation, the government comes in and says, this is the only way it's going to function.
Right.
So all of these are going to be hybrids of what is already there.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Look, my mom and I, when we're hands-on, we don't need anybody else. No federation, no nothing, to be honest. We truly believe that we can do our work the best.
Yeah.
And we trust ourselves the most, This is our baby at the end of the day. So no one's going to put in the effort and the time that we will into our own.
So the journey from 5 to 11 is long, but not as long as people think, because you'll shoot so much in the year. You're like doing like 4 IPLs in a year. Sometimes do you think that, we took on a little bit more than we thought we would?
No, in fact, we want to increase that number. I think, it's so important to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And there's no better way than just consistency.
Who's the most adventurous in the family to make these kind of adventurous decisions?
You're looking at her.
Yeah.
You're looking at her. 100% me.
And who's the other one who says, listen, Kish, just calm down. We might need to wait a bit.
I think that's probably my dad, to be honest. Yeah. But I mean, dad's got years on us. He's got wisdom beyond. He's seen it all, done it all. So we definitely take his word. With all that experience comes knowledge.
What about the in-between person, your mum? Which side of the boat is she on?
Mom's actually, she's very much a dreamer herself, and she's not just a dreamer. It doesn't end there. She'll go for that dream, which, we're now seeing. I think Tiger is very much the mediator between everyone. He's very neutral and diplomatic.
You should actually do a podcast with Tiger and you together. It'll be hilarious.
It'll be yin and yang, let me tell you.
Yeah, and he might
100%.
even not agree with what you say about him.
For sure. Yeah, there's one person who can get under my skin. You know how you spoke about how I have this deadpan professionalism? He can break that.
What if you don't like a film of his? Have you told him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In that sense, I mean, him and I trust each other beyond, he knows I'll be cutthroat with him and vice versa.
We marvel at how big MFN has also become. Just when we wind up this, do you also marvel at how big your parivar has now become? In name-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so proud of it. It's given me and allowed me this opportunity to chase my dreams and achieve my goals. And I honestly believe that their support and, what they've done to kind of support the family and give us that leverage is everything.
So this podcast is going to continue. Where we plan to now make this a very regular thing, and it's going to be a video cast as well, so you'll listen to this on Spotify and all the platforms, and you'll also be able to watch it, which actually hasn't happened too much in India. India is still sort of figuring out what they can say, what they can't say.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can stay in touch with us. MFN India is our social media page, and Kishu's also checking very much into that. You're quite a checks and balances kind of person, right?
Absolutely. I can't function without it. Yeah. You got to see my notes. It's never ending.
And also, The fastest person to reply in a WhatsApp group is Krishna.
That's right.
So that's the best part. We'll catch you again soon. Like I said, this is going to be a whole series where we'll take you on the entire journey of how they thought about taking MMA to the next level. The trouble that has actually been there also, you know, in being a lady promoter, the fight that you face with cricket everywhere, the fighters, you know, some good fights, some bad fights. And we will also discuss perhaps the most, the talked about thing for every athlete, money. You know, when you look at cricketers also, you're more concerned about how much money they're making, so then you should get in. And that's where I think, you know, in the coming episodes, we'll talk about whether parents, when they think about this as a career option for their children, is this a good option or not? We'll catch you again soon. My name is Salil. I'll catch you again soon with Krishna and other members of the family as well. And of course, Aisha will be there as well. The two founders and promoters of MMA in this country. We'll see you again soon.